What is going on, guys? Welcome to week number 8 preview of our Big 12 Team Builder Dynasty, and in this one we have recruiting updates, and we are going to go over Denver Tech, Kansas A&M, and Broken Arrow, who seem to always be tied at the hip. But first things first, obviously we're going to be talking about Denver Tech. You see them up on the board here. Nick Burns, the 84 overall freshman athlete out of Texas, Lockhart.
Now, yeah, we have a visit coming week 12. Ohio State's going to be week 14, so that'll be a tough one there for us to get. Hopefully we get him. Mike Brady, he's in a recruiting battle with you.
Yes.
And let's check out his visit situation. Oklahoma's going to go first. Denver Tech is week 12, and then you follow up. So that's going to be tough. The Hassan Bonner update. Denver's down 245 with a visit coming in week 10.
Interesting.
That'll be good. Chris Moore out of Danville, Virginia. Your DeAnthony Akobo here. Midland State in the lead there. Denver well trailing there. Buchanan Simmons update. Denver Tech is in first.
Yeah, look how far that Ardmore has fallen off.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah, especially coming out of Ardmore. It must be like when he was growing up, he never really liked the Thunderwolves in the first place. He's one of those guys that live in Michigan that like Ohio State.
He's probably a contrarian. He probably likes Broken Arrow.
Exactly.
Craig Reed here out of Utah, well in the lead there for a 4-star player. Andre Brandt, athlete. We're only down 80 to Texas. Mike Nicholson, this is a guy that I was working hard to get for Little Rock, and they just weren't there. And then ACU, Denver, obviously up there. Iowa has been this team I'm trying to fend off here. Mike Nicholson. Chris Brandt in a battle with McAllen. Dominic Wilson going to MSU. We lost him. Daniel Smith, ACU Ardmore, Denver. Antoine Taylor we had. Evangelo Jones. I'm going to leave him on the board just for now.
Smart.
And then, yeah,
number 2.
The
Denver
tackle.
Number 2.
Kadir Childs-Harris, we're down to 5th. Let's take a look here, though. The tackles is something we need to hit because you see here with 3 juniors and 2 junior guards, 2 senior guards, and a senior center, Denver has to rebuild the offensive line. They have no youth up front, really, so they are looking ahead for that. So we'll wrap this up in 1 second. But that explains why we're going after those guys. Colton Yo, only 170. We're down by 135. And then we added more linemen. Louis Smith. Paris Austin out of Lubbock. We have a Paris Austin update. ACU is going to be in first. Odessa in second. And then Broken Arrow is going to be in 4th. Evan Towns, Broken Arrow, still in 4th. So, and then Buchanan Simmons as well. They need to restructure their wide receiving crew. So if they got Austin and Simmons, those are the big gets here.
That would be absolutely huge for that offense for Bryant Street. If that happens, guys, freshman 6'6" guy, and then you get Paris Austin, oof, watch out for Broken Arrow next year.
Yeah, and the deal with Street is Street's only going to have 1 year left, so he's going to have no patience for some of these true sophomores and redshirt freshmen. They're going to have to step in next year. So you can bet he wants to be thrown to Paris Austin Simmons because they're going to be 1 and 2 on the depth chart from day 1, more than likely, I would say. So we're going to throw some more on James Coles there. Jimmy Bergstrand. They are beating you. What do you think about that?
Can you go up to him again real quick? Hey, it's only 630 points. It's basically between us two. Oklahoma and Odessa are not really even on.
Got to get that visit scheduled.
Yep.
Let's see, Jamar Diggs. You are ahead of Broken Arrow here, but Amarillo's in first for Jamar Diggs. Tyler McFadden. Minnesota's actually like cleaning up this recruiting cycle. It's kind of strange. Nick Kilpatrick. This guy is apparently, they think he's a gem. So we see the scouting here. +7 from where he was, especially in coverage.
81
coverage is pretty good.
Yeah, I believe we talked about him before. 81 speed at middle linebacker, like that's pretty dang good.
Yes,
no wonder he's good at coverage.
Yeah, and Louis Marshall, Samson Stewart, they hopped over Shreveport. Ian Hyven's still in the lead. I think it's really going to be Broken Arrow versus Odessa there. Colton Yo, they are a little far behind. Broken Arrow's area of concern, I would say, is a linebacker and wide receiver. So this guy would be big out of Wisconsin, Mike Graham. And then obviously athletes are going to help anywhere. It's shaping up to be another really good class, I would say. Colby Bolton, #1 for Colby.
Yeah, and like nobody's even close.
Yeah.
Next up, Kansas A&M Amber Wave. Taking a look at these guys. Evan Towns, 6'4" guard, the #5 pass blocker. And I gotta say that with the late visit, it's gonna help Camu pounce on that lead.
You think he's going to pry them away from the Prairie Dogs?
It could happen. It could easily happen. James Coles, athlete 76. So
that's a big deal.
Yes.
Let's look at the scouting. 82 accuracy, so he can play quarterback.
88 excel too.
Ooh.
That's a lot of athleticism, guys. But the thing with Camu is, you will see that we have 2, excluding the fullback, and the athlete. You got about 3 players here that are focused on offense. This team absolutely needs defense. They're very young on offense right now. Obviously, they're not going to turn away a guy like Albert Willis at tight end or James Coles. You know, they're not going to take away those type of electric athletes on offense, but they need to really hit hard on defense, and you can see that this guy, Matt Russell, the #4 pass rusher, so they're starting to lose a little ground here with Minnesota. We just alluded to them as taking a big step forward in recruiting, but Ball State? Come on. Camu can beat Ball State in the recruiting. They have to be able to do that.
We're back in the mix, boys.
Yes, so that's a good thing. We got Ryan Hayden here kind of in the mix, but Evangelo Jones needs to be a guy on the radar, and he is currently #1, and we have some more athletes down below. Hopefully that they can play some defense as Darrell Brooks, and we're really trying to shoot for some more offensive weapons, more guys that can do run blocking, that kind of thing.
Orion Bradshaw, 6'5" receiver, so you know he would be a good fit for Kansas A&M, trying to push those defensive backs around in the option game. Harold Reed Jr. well in the lead there as well. This guy is going to be tight right here. Sidney Garcia out of Louisiana.
Yeah, we have no idea where he's going. Like, even if Cameron makes a late push, it might not be enough.
Yeah, and we do have a visit before Washington, so that might help. TJ Wells is going to be a big help there. And I think that does it. We got a lot of guys down here that are interested in Kansas A&M.
They're trying to
It's
really
a backup plan.
Trying to really hit hard at the guys that they want first, and then everything else comes later. Again, that's because they're really young on offense. They can afford to do something like that.
All right, let's check out the top 25. ACU is in first place. Denver Tech in second. And then North Carolina
Wow.
in third place.
Hey, Heel Boy's going to like that.
He probably will. Ohio State, Florida State, Stanford are up there too. Shreveport.
Wow, in the top 10.
Number 7.
Holy crap.
In the country.
Look at their prestige now, guys. 6-0. Their prestige is now 4.
That's why they're recruiting so well.
Yes, it's got to be. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of room for growth, and a lot of players know their worth. They can start easily.
Midland State, after their loss to ACU here, going to drop down to 8th. Ardmore, you are in 9th after that win against Kansas A&M. And then we'll see what we got down here. Little Rock only dropped 2 spots. I think that's totally fair. They played a pretty good game against Denver, I think. And then we'll see in the back end, McAllen coming off the loss to Gansu. That was an ugly loss. That
Yes,
was
it was.
really, really bad.
That was not good. Harkless player did not.
Couldn't hit a receiver downfield. And then Kansas A&M is going to hold on to the number 25 spot, and nobody's receiving votes.
How about that game? How about Clemson? You know, beating Little Rock in the first game of the season. They looked really dominant, and now they're starting to fall off.
Ew.
Yeah.
All
Heisman
right.
watch time. Alex Makovich in first place. Go figure, right? We had Durkeen Timmons all those years for Denver Tech in first place for the Heisman.
He
And
moved
then-
up.
Yeah,
he's
he moved
injured.
up. He moved up.
He's injured.
I don't know what the deal is, but with a new addition here, John Hicks.
Ooh.
John Hicks and Brian Street.
Oh no!
2 quarterbacks in the Heisman candidacy.
Wow.
Unreal.
He
guys.
actually is doing it.
Yeah, he called it
actually
out.
doing it.
He called it out at the beginning of the year, and now it's happening. 302 yards against Amarillo, 10 carries for 115, 5 total. Yeah, he's balling out right now, guys. And I got to say that he is definitely on fire.
Check this out. We got National Player of the Week honors going to Brian Street again, I believe. Hasn't he done this already?
Yeah.
Week 2 it was. But yeah, week 7 for that dominating performance against Amarillo. 400 plus yards of total offense. And then let's see who we got on the defensive side. Cedric Granger against Midland racking up the tackles with 13 and a forced fumble.
All right, taking a quick look here at the conference standings, 6-0. Denver Tech still rolling, guys, only with 2 losses in 3 years so far. Midland State right behind them at 5-1. Nebraska State, though, is nipping at their heels at 4-2.
We'll see how long that lasts.
1-1 in conference. It happens. And then Kansas A&M, the darlings, the early season darlings, are starting to dip a little bit. Amarillo, we knew, didn't really have too much of a chance at, really pushing anybody in the Big 12. And they're at 0-2 as well. Odessa still not quite there yet. Too much reliance on the offense and not so much on D. It's just, they're not a complete team enough to challenge Denver Tech or Midland State.
Obviously, the bottom of the West right here is not pulling their weight, as we'll see in the East. Much more balanced and much better, I would argue as well. I think that's fairly obvious. You got ACU tied with Shreveport right now.
Wow. Talk about like a giant compared to a little...
A gnat?
A gnat, yes, a little skeeter, right? A Spartan against a skeeter. It's shaping up to be that way, guys. Nobody thought that was going to happen.
It's still early, let's say that. These teams are all going to have something to say about that. Little Rock, McAllen, Ardmore, they're all looking pretty good. They all have some vulnerabilities, but, it's ACU only 85 points against. So, and that's the team to beat, obviously.
Nuts, man.
Right.
Time to look ahead at week number 8, guys. McAllen against Little Rock. This is a tough game for me. I know McAllen is playing really well. Little Rock, though, playing pretty good, playing pretty decent, but they did come off that loss against Denver Tech. And quite frankly, I don't know who to pick here. What do you think? What's your gut telling you? Little Rock boasting that number 8 passing offense.
Yeah, I think this game is going to go right down to the wire. You're probably looking at a one-score kind of game. McAllen has to bounce back from what they did. That was an absolutely putrid game, again, that they had at Nebraska State. I don't know why we are their kryptonite, but they can steamroll everybody. But they had a game like we saw in week 1 against Army, where the vertical passing game was just non-existent. So that has to change. Little Rock's not the best team to do that against, but you can find some room downfield against their secondary. I'm leaning towards McAllen, but really, really close.
Yeah, I'll take McAllen, only simply because I know that they can score a lot of points. They're averaging 32.5 per game. Little Rock still seems a little bit too inconsistent for me right now. Is that, sometimes they make some good plays downfield, and sometimes they do some really, really weird stuff. They're not consistent enough. So I'll go with McAllen here. Odessa and Amarillo preview. And, I got to ask the question here. Why, if you are Amarillo, are you scheduling visits for 2 defensive players to come to this game?
Because the defense will be so bad that they think they can play. That's why. I think it's smart.
Okay. All right.
But look at the defensive numbers for Amarillo. 438 allowed per game. And we think Odessa's defense is not very good. They're only allowing 388.
That's so bad. 438 is so bad.
That's very. It's yeah. And I think Amarillo is going to play hard for their prospects, but that are visiting. I think they want to put on a show. I'm going to take Odessa though, just because the defense is that bad.
I'm taking Odessa just because of the offense. I know they can throw. I know Dede Dukes can do his thing too, but
it's going to be the toilet bowl.
Again, it's consistency. Toilet bowl. Shreveport and Broken Arrow, 2 teams that I think a lot of people are starting to fall in love with.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been talking about Shreveport as being their favorite team for a while, but number 7 going on the road against Broken Arrow.
Do they deserve that ranking?
I don't think so.
I think they're just giving it to them because they're an undefeated team in the Big 12.
Yes, that's probably what's happening. But look at Uba. 36 points per game on average, 481 yards of total offense. Shreveport is 120 yards of total offense less than that.
Yeah.
That tells you pretty much all I need to know here. I'm going with Broken Arrow and the Heisman candidate, Brian Street.
Yeah, I'm leaning that way. I'll pick Broken Arrow. I think the magic's going to end for Shreveport. I think they're going to crash down to earth. I just think they're too high.
And then we always have a game that we love to cover, Camu and Midland State. And we got both ranked teams, number 25 against number 8. Honestly, Camu being 0-2, they haven't really seemed to get it done. And Midland State seems to be the kind of team that, I don't know, this is a little bit of a different team as we've seen, but tendencies are hard to break. They just seem to be the kind of team that, I don't know, they could fall a little bit. I'm going to say Camu. I'm going with Camu in this one.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. I'll take Camu as well. I think their backs are so far up against the wall. This is such a do-or-die situation for them. I mean, if they lose, they're out. Like, they would have a super, super minuscule chance if they lost, but virtually zero. So they need to win this game. They basically need to win out in order to win the division. So I think they'll be ready for this one. I think Midland coming off the loss to ACU, it's gonna be hard for them, I think.
It's a tough game because, like you said, both teams need to win. Midland State's coming out firing. They want to get a Big 12 championship game appearance, but I mean, look at that defense for Camu. It's pretty dang good. I think they might be able to slow Whiteside down. All right, guys, that is it for today's Wednesday video. We'll catch you back here at 11 a.m. on Saturday. And we will actually be showing 3 CPU games because we don't have our games this week.
We're off. How about that?
We're off for week 8, so I didn't
Just
see
the
any...
game that won't be on TV. Or on the internet. I'd say TV because I just pretend that this is a broadcast.
Yes. The Toilet Bowl?
Yeah.
That one. Right there.
Yeah, you're not going to get this game, everybody. But these 3 games you will. So I hope you guys are looking forward to it.
Yep. So now your guys' picks are eligible to be made now. So there you go on goldglovergaming.com. And your standings have also been updated as well. And what is that? Ball State at Oregon. I know I'm taking in that game. Oregon all the way. But not that it matters.
If you get it right, you get 500 points.
Wow. Disclaimer. That's not a part of the contest. It's not a part of the contest. All right, guys, so we'll see you back here at 11 a.m. for these games, CPU versus CPU, and then catch you back here on next Wednesday for Week 9 preview as well, where we will be back. We will be back. Ardmore, Nebraska State. So, we'll leave you guys at that. Do you have anything else to say?
Nope.
Nope? Okay. All right. Leave a like if you like this thing, and if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that red button for subscribe, or my logo in the bottom right-hand corner. Like I said, we'll see you guys on Saturday. As always, peace.